KRM Office 5521. This is our toilet flush. We will pull this to throw you into the garbage and say into the swamp that you belong. We will kind of have a conversation here, quite simple, quite clear. We are watching the business channel today. Today is the 15 September 2021, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, private room. We had a problem which indeed is a causal relation of a lot of problems before. And then this big structure is the international corruption segmented by public and corporate corruption. And inside the public corruption of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, we had a scam named Deep Web. Indeed, it's basically changing the first registry, the continued since from the first registry, because you can come back and change things, receive your money at the public department, having coalitions with providers of communication and a lot of things. Despite all advices and warnings, you insist on it because indeed you trust so much in a corruption scam that you, both by solidarity as local or international, will be into the same toilet, I would say. Then, or both, we will try to help perhaps the situation as cryptocurrency and stable coins, which has a different on present time, and we for sure wouldn't like to help neither of these two things because we consider that it's not for real, but can help the terrible reality that we are living. And indeed today we do not need a chart. The stable coins in general is a concept which is associated that something fixed at the market, which can be a real monetary value, can be a commodity, whatever. We will consider perhaps have a total choke of crypto coins and let a residual value as stable coins that will be linked with niobium. For instance, a resource commodity that you have in Brazil in large scale, and it's an element in the architecture to have nuclear empowerment and things like this. It means that we can consider have the stable coins associated with each element as a main element inside the nuclear activity and weapons of mass destruction or any kind of activity which indeed is a result of combined things. For instance, we will consider this idea as a stable coin, which is the topic that the president of the European Central Bank, I think, is talking about. This lady looks like that has a history at the IMF and a lot of things we must have in mind. First of all, allow them to talk because we will have this clear. That the behavior as bodyguard, the system is systematic and has a storage. Are you able to consider yourself presenting with transparency required by the Ministry of Finances Germany the history of operations at the IMF and the European Central Bank, for instance, on present time? Just to have in mind, because if you'd like to set new policies, you must be able to present the result as previous policies made according with the patterns of security that indeed will affect you for sure. Then we will have this idea as stable coin. This idea as stable coins, I will come a little closer to, if you need to pull this crap, we will put you down the toilet. Then we will pull the flush. This stable coin, indeed, it's not a monetary value as itself. Must be attached with something, and we will present this stable coin as the driver A inside the monetary market, which is my market. alpha. Considering the combination as real money, it will be the small letter A. But this small letter indeed has a situation, which is the comma, because it's not the money as itself, considering the real money, the credit, general patterns that we have. We are having here an extended area, setting this element, which is the stable coin, that must be linked with any kind of situation as commodity or fixed asset that will put a number and ranking a list 1 up to n. And the first one will be the niobium, because it's used as a nuclear empowerment and to grow the capacity as nuclear activity. And then we are having the distribution of all possibilities that must be under investigation, review, or research. And this stable coin will only have this possibility, which is be attached with some kind of commodity as essential element in order to have the structure or raise the architecture of elements that present as menace against mankind, as nuclear activity or drugs, things like this. And then the stable coin now, indeed on present time, is a cluster that indeed it's not formed, but we will form. And will be my cluster A, because it's like this, A, comma, 1. And I have the segmentation and it's nominated like this. I will have the second bubble as cluster A, comma, as my monetary market, liquidity market, with the stable coin number 2. And this will be on and on and on up to n as factorial behavior, the integration of all, giving the idea as menace against the global system and mankind. And then I will have the Venn diagram, in each one of those, considering this first segment here, and I will check the integration here as frequency or repetition. And this frequency of repetition will put the structures as conjuncture that I can drill down my institution that if do not offer the situation, is part of the problem. As outlaw, there are no guarantee as outlaw. There are no legal protection, and as outlaw, you can maybe suffer some kind of consequence according with your scam, which indeed is vulnerable and exposed and under a reconfiguration, I would say, by the nemesis concept, which is use your criminal intelligence, your things like that you have against you. And we are finished here. We have the second situation as the database Sigma as Suncoast project 5522 SF City here. Today, Rio de Janeiro. Today we are on Rio de Janeiro, private room, and maybe suffering violations of my Wi-Fi and a lot of things right now, but it's part of the game, and the consequence is a causality of this game played by you, criminal offender from the public department, with coalitions linked with acting on the area that you do as communication. I can claim my rights with the offender, and I can, transfer this expectation as legal and raise anti-crime budget 33 trillion. And indeed, it's like this. Have a nice day.